Hello everyone, and welcome to my very first Fallout 4 settlement tour video. Now, I have made hundreds of settlements. I have around 2,000 hours in this game. My favorite game of all time. And I've watched hundreds of videos on settlement builds. But you know what, I thought, why not? Maybe I should share mine. Just as a fun little side project. This is a new save, new settlements. This is my first one. Covenant Caravans. I'll explain that name in a bit, but first, we should go and see what every settler who wishes to join this little settlement here would have to go through first. This settlement is protected by the Minutemen.
Oh.
I don't know why she said that. This area is protected by the Minutemen. This is not a Minutemen settlement, but it is protected. Part of the circuit, I guess. This lady here, I imagine she checks you. You know, make sure you're not a bloodthirsty, drugged-out raider. And then you would deposit your weapons. This is assuming you're not a civilian. Civilians can have weapons, but if you're visiting, you need to put your weapons in here until you are trustworthy. Also, if it's not clear, I killed the original inhabitants. They weren't good people. Sea Dog Meat agrees. So, they're all dead. If you know the story, you know why they're evil. But, Minuteman lady here checks you, make sure you're good to go inside. You know, maybe writes a report back to the Minutemen at whatever hub they may have at the moment. Haven't actually built that yet. And it just lets people know that this area is under our protection. Ours, because I am the Minuteman General, after all. Now, coming in, you know, keep your beefs on the streets. No weapons allowed. Covenant Caravans. Here is my Covenant. Now, in order to show you the difference, I'm going to put up a quick clip of one of my other saves walking through here. Nothing's built up, and here's what it looks like originally. When you first arrive at Covenant, it's actually a fairly built-up settlement already. It's a small one, but it's quite nice. Probably one of the nicest places to live. Assuming you're not a synth, otherwise you go in their torture murder basement. But, ignoring that past, you know, the Minutemen are here. We're taking this place in a better direction. And speaking of better direction, back to my settlement. As you can see, there's a lot of razor grain here. A lot of razor grain. That is partly because there's a large amount of Brahmin here. More on that later. But also because I have a mod installed that reduces the amount of food a single plant gives you. So a lot of my settlements in this series are going to contain a lot of plants. I just think it looks better, it's more realistic, makes it look like people could actually live off the amount of food you're growing. But, besides that, back to the tour. Immediately off to your side, we have the garage. This is why this place is called Covenant Caravans. Provisioner orders only. Provisioners from all around the Commonwealth, with my settlements, right now I have like 3, are linked to this place. They bring their provisioners, they bring resources they don't need, and they order resources they do need via terminals and ham radios. Whatever method of communication. This dude logs what they need, logs what we need to give to them, and then, you know, manages all of that. He's the one keeping the supplies moving between the settlements. As you can see, got plenty of resources in here. Got wood all over the floor. It's a little messy, but, you know, it's the wasteland. I like things messy. Nice little vent, lots of paint. Shipment of steel, how much that costs. This isn't a free service. I mean, imagine trying to control the resources of so many settlements. It gets tiring and it gets expensive. No smoking. It will explode. Mainly referencing the nuclear material we have here.
Need something?
Anyways, he's a general trader. Though, you know, provisioner orders only, but for gameplay reasons I can actually trade with him. It's quite neat. And there's the first building done. Well, kind of. There's a bunch of scrap and resources in the workshop over here. Wood stuff you can pick up. But yeah, this is this settlement's main purpose. It is to be a caravan service to and from different settlements. Every single settlement will be linked to here, and that is where resources will go through. I know you don't need to have a garage for stuff. Hello, Preston. Anyway, I know you don't have to do that. I just love when my settlements have an actual lore reason to exist. Also, we got a fun little thing there. Sorry, Preston. Anyways, as you can see, our farms, there's just one little detail you might not notice, but I'm proud of, so I'm going to mention. I placed this grass here to make it look like some of the razor grain was kind of, you know, poking through. I just think it made everything look 1,000 times better with that grass addition. But I guess we should go into the second house here, the greenhouse. It's not a real greenhouse. It's not, you know, plants in here, but I mean, you can see why it might be called that. Here, you know, is the settlement restroom.
You're one of the good guys.
Thank you. In here we have some tasteful signs. The toilet, again, it's the wasteland, you can't be too picky. Suspiciously brown toilet paper, can't be picky. And a nice urinal with a plant inside. And, you know, a sink, of course. In here, I didn't want to change the inside of these houses too much. You know, what would be the point? Like I said before, I like when things are scrappy, but these were already here. What would be the point of removing nice beds and replacing them with not nice beds? So this bed belongs to the man who owns that shop and kind of the whole settlement. But we'll get to him later. But that's why this fancy bed is here, or at least that's my reason why. Now you might have noticed that the razor grain is blocked off from here. And you also might have noticed the amount of fertilizer. But also, there's some chlorine, a bunch of water. This place is full of farmers. The people who keep the razor grain flowing, and also who keep that tree in the middle alive. That is not an easy thing to do in this wasteland. I imagine that's kind of like the Gilder Green from Skyrim, but here. You know, it's a very special tree that these people take great pride in protecting. But, anyways, back here, we have a little water purification area. This is where they collect some water. They purify it. They have what are they called? These things. I don't remember what they're called for some reason. I know what they're called, but whatever. Going through here, we have an extra exit into... Okay, well, the Brahmin are acting a little funny. But we have a Brahmin pin in here. This is for the caravans that come and go. You know, they all... Or not caravans, provisioners. They always have those Brahmin next to them with the packs. I'm sure we'll see one come in eventually during this tour. If not, I'll make sure to show you. For those who aren't familiar with Fallout. If you're not familiar with Fallout, thank you for watching this video anyway. It's a thumbs up from me. But yeah, they got a razor grain on their little bed area. And they have fertilizer. I'll leave it up to the imagination what that fertilizer is made out of. But yeah, they got food in their troughs, they have a water trough. They're taken care of by the greenhouse people. Funny story, I hadn't originally intended to cover this place in vines, but I placed some, and it turned out the mod I used to place them doesn't allow you to delete them, and I can't use my console because I'm in survival mode. So, they stayed, and I built around it, and I actually quite like how it turned out. Might be one of my... Hello, Preston. Might be one of my favorite places. Here, we have the bar. This is... As you'll see here, there's a hotel there. 16 caps a night. There's no front desk in here. You have to talk to the owner of Covenant Caravans to book a room. And he... Also, you'll hear a cat. I don't know where he is. But there is a cat who lives here, and he's very cute. Yes, there he is. He has a specific name, but I can't see it because of the lack of HUD. Fun little sign here. And here is our bar, owned by the owner of Covenant. He's wearing the previous mayor's outfit, the one who is currently dead and probably being eaten by boat flies in some ditch somewhere. Like I said, well, okay, they're kind of tragic people, but they're also not very good people either, so I don't feel too bad about it. I feel a little bad about it because their story is actually kind of sad, but whatever, that's besides the point. Here we have some areas where people can sit. This place looks quite nice in the night. We got a piano here for them to play on. If it wasn't abundantly clear, this is modded. I've used many mods in the creation of the settlement. Ooh, see, Preston's gonna have a sit down. Got this quite nice painting that I scaled up, and I think it looks really nice, actually. I'd like to have something like that in my own room. And normally I'm not like a huge abstract art guy, but this is some nice abstract art. Got a coat rack, and a nice little, more private booth. I'll leave it up to the imagination what probably happens in a private booth in a bar. But, got some machetes here. In my mind, these machetes are used to cut down the razor grain and not other people. But, who knows. Oh, also, noodles. This was kind of an unintended side effect, but I am never running out of food ever again because of the amount of razor grain that grows here. And the water that comes out of that water purifier. All it is one razor grain, one purified water, and you got noodles. So this, as you can imagine, this place sells a lot of noodles.
Yeah?
Some would say they beat Takahashi down in a Diamond City. But I'll leave that up to interpretation. Or not interpretation. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Here, we have the tree. It's a nice little centerpiece of the settlement, and originally it was just a big dead tree, but I wanted it to feel more special. And with the greenhouse here, I figured, why not have a lifelike tree? Normally, I don't like putting these in settlements. I'm not a person who likes to add greenery everywhere, but it felt right to have here. It felt like it, because, you look around, everything else is dead. Kind of an important thing that they got this tree alive. It shows that maybe there is some hope for healing. Here's a Brahmin pen, back there. Got some, I think these are mutated ferns around the tree. Just look like nice little wasteland flowers. People can actually sit here. Here, we have the only surviving member of the original group of settlers here, Deezer.
Seems to be growing well.
But yeah, it's Deezer. He sells his lemonade. It's also, I guess, some rat got into the razor grain and he's serving that as well. Why not? Nobody really knows how he gets his lemonade, seeing as how there are no lemon trees in Fallout, but there are some rumors. Who knows, though? Who knows? Here, we have the hotel. This is for guests to stay at. Just people, because, I mean, look at this place. People are going to want to stay here. They would be willing to spend 16 caps for a night in this safe area. It's pretty unchanged from how it originally was. I didn't see a point in changing it. I don't need every location in the settlement to be kitted out. I am in summer school, or not summer school, summer college classes. I don't have time for that. In here, we have just normal rent, like apartments and stuff, not hotel. Very different. This is where our provisioners, who are all situated here, live, I imagine. Or, maybe some farmers who don't have a spot in the much better other place. Lots of beds. This is changed from the original. Originally, there was, no one in here, and this was a prison cell, but I changed it to just... I think I have a sign here, actually. Yeah, budget rooms for the discerning customer. These are the bad rooms. But it's an otherwise pretty nice space. Compared to everywhere else in the Commonwealth, you would much rather live here. If you're wondering why there don't seem to be many settlers around, they're probably hidden amongst the razor grain, or they're a provisioner sending people along. I'm going to have a lot more settlers in here eventually, but that takes forever, and I'm not willing to wait for all that, Each provisioner is kitted out like that guy, by the way, from the murder bunker. I took their armor and I gave it to the Covenant provisioners instead. I just thought it was fitting and a new purpose for their armor. But, yeah, unless I'm missing something, which I don't think I am. that's about it for Covenant. It's a smaller settlement, to be sure, and I never build here, but honestly, I quite enjoyed working with this place, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me see if I can't... No provisioners. Well, let me see if I can get an aerial view here. Gonna have the settlement menu, but again, I'm in survival. I can't actually console command do that, but I think it looks really nice from above too, and you can see all the razor grain and stuff. Yeah. Also, fun little detail about Covenant. They have a shit ton of Institute crows watching them. This is absolutely intentionally placed by Bethesda. I know it's like kind of cut content that they are Institute spies, all the crows, but I mean, it's in the art book, and they intentionally placed an absurd number of crows here. It only makes sense. I just think that's a cool little detail. But okay, I'll stop rambling now. That's all for the settlement. Thank you for watching. I know that Fallout 4 settlement building is kind of a niche topic, but it's something that I love to do, and I've loved to do. Have like a bajillion mods, modded settlements, stuff like that. But I'll stop rambling. If you liked what you saw here and see potential in a newly introduced, or not introduced, I've known settlement building, a new contender in the settlement building ring, maybe leave a like, maybe a subscribe, who knows. I do intend to do more settlements. Like I said, I love settlement building. I just never really shared it with anyone. I wish I still had some of my old saves so I could show them. I might have a picture or two I could put on screen. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Who knows when that will come. Oh, so ignore the shadows there. I can't really get them any closer. True, Preston, true. That's a good way to end it off.